Aenaon, how are you today, man? Great to have you on the podcast. It's been a while since we spoke last, but Aenaon is in the Boston area and he is an entrepreneur, a student of life, an artist, a philosopher. How are you today, man? Thanks for coming on.
Man, I'm chilling today, nappy headed as always. And I'm just getting over a sickness right now. I can't lie.
Tell me about that. That's too bad. You're going through a sickness. Tell me about kind of what jobs you've been doing lately. You've been kind of hanging around the music industry. You've been in the music industry. Talk to me about that.
So recently I've been working in the prep cook and line cook positions at Bocaria in Seaport. It's a Spanish restaurant, and yeah, it's pretty expensive, but bring your checkbook and we're gonna feed you good. But that's probably why I got sick, because I be working with so many people right now.
Yeah, I can
And I work
imagine.
5 days a week hustling because it's Boston. You gotta pay the rent.
That's fire. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. Boston really. You've gotta be on the hustle all the time, and you've been doing some security stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm working for Live Nation right now. And I'll be working security on the weekends, but I called out this weekend because I was sick. I was kind of tight.
Nice. And you're staying involved with music. You're still rapping.
I was freestyling about 20 minutes ago, bro.
Nice. Yeah. That's awesome. And are you do you still feel inspired with the rap? Like do you kind of channel events which happen in your life directly into the music you've been making?
Definitely. Recently, I've been kind of incorporating pain and like pleasure into the same type of form of rap because it's also the same form of your brain because it's like a seesaw almost. My uncle told me. He's like, you sit on pain too much and then you need to feel pleasure to balance yourself. And if you feel too much pleasure, you're going to have some pain to balance yourself. So,
Yeah, I like
type
that
shit.
quote.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I be trying to balance. It's kind of hard sometimes though.
What have you been doing to keep yourself balanced? Because everything's changing so fast, everything's so fast paced.
I mean, yeah, in the city, bro, nothing stops. Always sirens, always cars. So it's like to calm down. I just love music, bro. I put on my headphones. I start rapping. My brain just delivers.
And I remember a lot of your earlier projects you had been using kind of like new wave beats and then mixing your style onto it. And it was sort of, like Cure inspired beats, things like that. It was sort of um, a new sound that I just hadn't really heard before. And I could see it making an impact, just in culture in Boston. And you're one of those guys that's kind of behind the scenes, but really impacting culture in a big way, I think.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like I don't have anything public right now. I have 5,000 voice memos of music that I made, and I have like probably a couple hundred songs on FL right now that I'm ready to start mastering.
How long have you been using FL?
Probably about 2 or 3 years. But like I said, I hustle 5 days a week. I used to be involved with some darker stuff type shit, and I wasn't really having my mind on the music as much. And I was so focused on money, and that's what I was rapping about recently. How like money can really break certain people and certain aspects of life apart.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm totally familiar with that, and money can really destroy people, and sort of this empty pursuit of money and getting addicted to short-term rewards, instant gratification that can lead us down a darker path sometimes. But I know you've been making a big effort to take everything uh, to a to a point like in you're very intentional about how you've been moving lately, um, keeping everything keeping everything kind of uh, on the up and up in every aspect of your life. Like everything's organized. You're treating it like a mission. Like you've got all this stuff going on at school, your company, which I want to get into later. This thing you're doing with the deliveries and all that. But what was that transition like going from a place of chasing instant gratification every day, that sort of lifestyle towards, and now you've transitioned into really a more methodical, careful kind of guy. So talk to me about that transition.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't an easy one. I couldn't sleep for like the first 2 weeks, deciding to get sober off a lot of things I used to do. And I was just up every night, and when I did fall asleep, I have nightmares about my customers like chasing me and different things I used to do, just like haunting me. And I really had to disconnect with that kind of part of myself, but accept myself for who I was too. And I just tried to be a better person from then on. And I still like I fall back sometimes, but I definitely have these angels who just lift me up too.
100%. And I really like that sentiment because I think, sometimes whatever we're going through, it can seem like we're really the only person dealing with this, and like this thing about hating who we've become and wanting to change, wanting to let go of all that, those parts of us. And but I think everyone goes through it to some extent, and it's just kind of, you have to get to a point mentally where you can just forgive yourself, and regardless of what it is in your past, you have to let go and be optimistic, because no one wants you to feel guilty, to feel scared, to feel like you have to hide this or something, because people can be really understanding at the end of the day. And as long as we see that you're intentionally making the right moves, it's like there's really nothing to worry about on that end. And I think it was a big step for me mentally to get to that point of like, yeah, no, it doesn't matter like any little thing I'm like scared or ashamed of or whatever. It's like in the end of the day, when you zoom out and look at the bigger path of our lives, those things are just insignificant. That's just one snapshot in the whole movie that is our life. And
Amen, bro.
yeah, and I'm really glad to hear, uh, that you're making these moves, and I want to I'm glad to see you approaching it in an optimistic way and not a pessimistic way. And yeah, we don't deserve to live our lives feeling scared and of how people might interpret us, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't give a fuck what no one think about me.
That's a superpower in today's world, and not a lot of people have that. Talk to me about that. Just not giving a fuck at the end of the day what
Bro,
they think.
I walk around the city with my speaker blasting music. I do that in New York City. I do that in New Mexico when I visit. I'm all around Boston with my speaker blasting. I be playing my freestyles on my speaker unmixed.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I met you. I was fascinated because I noticed that part of you, which was really just not caring. And this is a super valuable trait in our world today, and it's a super rare trait. So I picked up on it immediately. I immediately noticed that, and I know that's kind of the kinds of friends I want to have, are people who are out of that matrix of making moves just based off of, others' perceptions of those moves.
Dead ass, bro. Shh. Said it better than me.
But talk to me about this business that you're
Man, I have a
starting.
man, I have so many visions and different type of like 10-year plans, 15-year plans type shit. But right now I really am working. I'm almost 21 right now. I'm only 20. Gemini season soon though. And bro, ready? So I'm gonna have an edible brand.
Hell yeah.
If mushrooms ever gets legalized, I'm gonna dabble with something in those
Nice.
type shit. You already know, but the
That's
weed
a big
market's pretty
emerging
lucrative,
market.
and I feel like smoking really isn't the best for you. Like you hear me right now. I sound like an old grandpa. Like type shit, bro. I've been eating edibles right now. I'm on a homemade banana bread made with some homemade ghee infused with banana bread itself. The strain is a Vietnamese strain. That shit is gas.
So you made that bread yourself.
Yup, handmade from scratch.
So yeah, I think.
$15 a slice.
So how are you? What steps are you making? what's your vision for turning this into a legal business that is, it's a competitive market, but not so competitive because most people just don't get into it because of the volatility of the legality surrounding it. So it's they don't like investors aren't considering it a very stable thing to get into, I guess.
Right.
Um,
No, I agree. That's
but
why
I
I
think
don't
there's
see
a
it as a dispensary type thing because I do see dispensaries kind of dying out and they're
yeah.
battling each other to the bottom right now, actually.
What do you mean by
And
that?
that's, I mean, some dispensaries have been exposed for cutting corners and like just like fake exposure, fake organic promotion, and it's not really safe out here because they'd be putting like PGRs, plant growth regulators in the weed, and then people would be sick. And I go out of my way to get family grown weed, and I just grew some homegrown myself. Type
Nice.
shit. I have my medical card.
Nice. That's fire. Um, but yeah, I love how you always look for how to monetize things, and I think that's pretty fire. And yeah, with this thing, um, I think there's a big opportunity here, uh, because you're making the products yourself. You've been doing this for years, like knowing how to bake stuff, not with cannabis. So um, you're good at it. You make great products, and I think that there's a big market for that, especially in the Boston area.
Yeah, bless, bro. Nobody's ready for the baklava.
Oh, really? The baklava.
That shit is bomb.
That sounds fire.
Bro, because ready? I have this uncle in New York. He's pretty successful. He's a lawyer. He actually helped in New Jersey legalize marijuana.
Yeah.
And type shit, he has this ownership to a restaurant called the Bixie in Harlem, and they do live music every Wednesday, which he said I could get in on soon. So I might be performing there,
That's
but
fire.
including they do an occasional cannabis tasting, and he might get me in the kitchen to do something. It'd be like 200 a plate.
That's
And it's like a
awesome.
really bougie place type.
That's awesome. Um, that sounds really promising. Yeah. And
But I'd
I
rather do a restaurant scene. My fault.
a restaurant.
Like instead of like bagging it up in plastic and like driving around, like I want like a place where people can come together, kind of, and like you could eat
Yeah.
the edibles and then listen to live music too and look at art on the wall.
Yes. That sounds like a really great kind of cultural experience as well, and something that I think our city is lacking a lot, like having spaces for the community to go and appreciate artwork or a new business or something like that. It's sort of like everywhere there is in Boston, you've got to have like some connection just to get in the building, but so I really
Yeah,
like that
security
idea.
everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
We
tried to
don't
go.
belong here, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, we neither of us belong here.
Yeah, like I went to some office buildings I saw that looked cool, and I tried to get in to because I wanted to go to the top of the buildings to like look on the roof and like just get the view and everything. And they were telling me that I couldn't because I have no connection to the building or I don't know anyone who works there or anything. So I thought that was interesting, like all of these rules, you know, and I think yeah, something like that that's more open to people. I think that's what the direction we kind of should be going.
Nah, no bullshit, bro. Because when I went to visit Greece, they have over 40 political parties and we only have two. So it's
That's
like
crazy.
politics right now. I don't even want to get started.
Yeah.
This shit feels like prophetic, like biblical apocalypse.
What kind of things have you been noticing in the political scene that are like
Bro, I mean,
that?
I had a dream 3 weeks before Trump won that he won, and it just felt
That's
like really eerie.
that's really interesting because I had a similar dream in 2016, like a few months before he won, that he was gonna win. And yeah, I think there is something about that that's like a prophecy or something. Um, I think that would make sense.
Yeah, bro, I went to church for a few weeks, And they said I couldn't wear my cap, my little bonnet type shit. I was trying to make
Really?
sure my hair wasn't too nappy.
Why would
And I
they
was like,
tell
all
you
right,
that?
I'm gonna go pray at home.
That's really crazy that a church, which is supposed to be like a place to go and worship God, would reject you simply because of your hairstyle or like your hat or whatever. That's
Yeah, I guess
crazy.
only women can wear stuff to cover their head for their husbands. Like I don't got no husband.
That's like
I got a girl.
that's really crazy, you know. That's sort of like the direct opposite of what the church should be, I think. Like just a place for people to go and pray and like a communal place. So that's too bad. And yeah, I think yeah, it's in a lot of ways in our society we're discriminating like based on hair and it's like we just have to be past that as a society. Like you should be able to get a job kind of regardless of what your hair looks like or tattoos or like just anything like that. Um, but yeah, and the church is crazy, I think.
So good, bro. I still love God.
Yeah, that's good. What is your opinion on God? Like, where do you think
I don't
that humans come
I don't like
from?
making assumptions. No
Yeah,
bullshit.
you're
Just
just
cause
kind of
like
open to whatever it is.
God created some beautiful things, and I feel like we like to blame God or the devil for a lot of things that we do to each other, and it's like, well, we're not supposed to be living like this. We're not supposed to be charging each other up the ass for food when it's growing from the ground. Like if we all had community gardens, we could be eating together, and no one had to
Yeah,
work.
you're right.
Fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're totally right about that. Like,
I'm supposed to be like,
um,
oh, we need nuclear bombs. No, you need to wipe your bum
I
and
think
shut the fuck up.
I think there is a place for a relentless pursuit of new technology. Something I believe in a lot. I think like the question of life, like the inherent question is kind of like why are we here? And it's not really clearly answered and I think we can figure it out. Like I figured out a way where we can use technology to figure out definitely where we came from, if that makes sense.
Like in the universe, or like just like blood wise,
No,
ancestry
like
wise.
not ancestry, like how did life appear in the universe? How did we get here? Like
Yeah,
I
bro, I love to think about that stuff.
we have a way now. So have you heard about something called quantum physics?
Yeah, I've heard of the quantum physics.
So it's kind of like the best way of describing it is sort of like the code which the matrix of life runs on. Like the way for a website has code and everything. But it's like so with quantum physics, um, we have this thing called quantum entanglement, and it's like when you look at the chemistry of the atoms and stuff, like the little particles that make up the universe and us and everything. Uh, there's a phenomenon that they noticed by looking at them with really powerful microscopes, where different particles will become separated and but they're intrinsically linked together. So like they become separated like a little like electron or something or a photon, and then they can have a lot of distance between them, like an infinite amount of distance in the universe. They could be on either ends of the universe. And then if you change one, for some reason the other one changes too. But there's nothing we can see that links them together. But what this allows us to do is something called quantum computing, and also another thing, quantum superpositioning
Yo, quantum leaping.
yeah, yeah, exactly, quantum leaping. So that's what it is. So now we can go faster than the speed of light. They haven't done it yet, but we know what we have to look at to figure out how to do it because it's happening in our universe all the time through quantum entanglement. And so once we can do that, then we can send like a robot to a distant edge of the universe. And then it can be, so you know how when you look at the sun, it's like the what you're looking at is like not the sun, but it's what the sun was 8 minutes ago,
bro.
because there's 8 light minutes between us and the sun. So what that means is that when the light leaves the sun, it takes 8 minutes for it to get to us, that light, for us to see it. So by the time it hits us, the sun is in a different place. Same thing with the moon. It's like a couple seconds difference. And but if you go 1,000 light years away to a distant point in the universe, and then you look at the Earth with a telescope, what you would be looking at is what was happening 1,000 years ago, because that's how long it would take the light to get there. So say you had a really good telescope that could zoom in really far, then you can see like a live feed, kind of like a live video feed of exactly what was happening on that day 1,000 years ago on Earth. So now that we can go faster than the speed of light, we can send droids out there, lots of them, like a million, to different points in time, and then use AI to look through all the footage and find exactly what happened and show it to us. So we can figure out where we came from, where the first life came from, all of that. And that's really exciting to me because finally we'll have like a clear answer, I guess.
Whoa, yo, that's fire.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's sick, bro. You just blew my mind.
Yeah, it blew my mind too to think about this, like, but we can do it now. And we can do a lot more
Bro,
stuff too.
I just pulled out this note I wrote from a year ago. It doesn't matter who you were, it matters who you are.
Yes. Yes, 1,000,000%. That's such an important quote. Where did you find that note?
Behind my desk that I wrote on a sticky note.
Nice. Um, yeah, it's pretty crazy to think about like how much s- quantum computing is changing the world, like how fast it's all changing. It's like um
Bro, it's honestly awesome. Like, this is a beautiful time to be alive.
yeah,
Even though
it's
it's
really
like,
random and unlikely that we're alive at this exact time if you think about it. Like it's so unlikely.
it's basically anarchy, almost.
What do you mean?
Like, I just feel like where we're heading to, like, the government's like getting exposed for a lot of shit, a lot of the darkness they've
Yeah.
like done to other countries, third world countries especially, bro. Like, we live in like a treacherous place.
Yeah, you're right about that. We live in a we live in a crazy time, and you're right, a lot of stuff did get exposed about, our country and the CIA and what the
Fucking
CIA.
MK Ultra, bro. I still
Yeah.
be doing acid without it.
Yeah, of course. Um, but it is wild, all that stuff that happened. And um yeah, it's like it's crazy. They were really like out in other countries assassinating world leaders in like
With the money, 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 money,
covert
money.
missions. Um yeah, that's so
Now
weird to
God
think
seen some
about.
crazy things.
What?
I said God seen some crazy things.
You're right about that. I think that's what I'll title this episode actually. Like the quote. Um and and yeah, it's really weird to think about, but you're right. And like that note said, it's about what you are and not what you were, and like it's better not to think about the past, I think, and just to focus on moving forward and making things good. Because I could worry myself all day about like what the CIA was doing back then, like what they might have been responsible for.
Yeah, bro.
Um,
There's an art in letting go, though.
yeah, 100%. It's an art in letting go. Yeah, about yourself and about everything else too. So you can be really free, free from all of that stuff and from everything, from your past self. You can just be
Spread your
free.
wings
You
and
just have
fly.
you just have to accept it, You have to accept that you're free.
Caw.
Oh my gosh. This is the first podcast that I'm like laughing during. I was like keeping it so serious for the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't be too serious. That's just detrimental to your health.
Yeah, I know, 100%. It's important to laugh sometimes. It is. Um, I don't know. I
Yeah,
had a thing with laughing though because at my old job, I got into trouble for laughing like at inappropriate moments. And I also always got in trouble in school as a kid for laughing during inappropriate moments. So it made me have like a thing about laughing where I want to like be serious all the time, kind of. Does that make sense?
yeah, I know what you mean, bro. I used to laugh during all them inappropriate moments, and then the teacher be like, "Y'all be quiet." I'll be holding my hand to my mouth, like,
Yeah, 100%. I wonder why we do that as kids. Why it's like the teacher will yell at us like a million times, stop laughing, but we just can't stop laughing.
bro, because we're kids, we're supposed to be playing. We're getting brainwashed
Yeah, one
into a
million percent.
system.
100%. You're right about that.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Forget about the alphabets that you were born from. Don't trust them, trust us first. We're not the best, we're the worst. We're not a gift, we're a curse.
Wow.
motherfuckers, motherfuckers is poisonous, bro. That's why you
100%.
just gotta trust yourself and trust your own culture, your roots. You gotta just dig deep. Like, it's not white, black. It's not fucking Spanish. It's not Asian. It's like people come from other places inside of those big places.
1 million%.
This country's stupid, bro. I can't even lie. There's a lot of beautiful, smart people I know around here, but it's so like materialistic and capitalism is just
I think a lot
overcome a
of
lot
it's
of people.
I think a lot of it is in our heads in the sense that the popular culture and institutions they make money the more divided we are. So they have this like idea that they've brainwashed us all with that we're all viciously opposed to each other. But it's just not true. They're using it as like a cloak, like a way to like distract us. And if you just think about it in the sense that something like CNN or Fox or like a very political news channel, they will be they will be catering to the most irrational fears of their audience. So they will like people will have like a really irrational fear about the other political party that they're opposed to. And then one of these news channels will just tell them, yeah, you're completely right about that crazy fear you have. That's complete bullshit. And then people love being told that they're right about everything. So then just reinforces that divide and that primal um, fear. And you know what I mean? Like it's really unhealthy, but
Dude,
it's clear to see how the profit that's being made by this divide.
it's ridiculous, dog.
Yeah, but I think people are waking up as a whole and becoming more open and less brainwashable, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean, bro. I feel the shift too.
Yeah, it's a really promising shift and it's a promising time, I think, in our life, our culture, our society, and for humanity. It's a really promising time,
We're
and
living through a history book.
we are. This, I keep saying it again and again, like this time in our history is it's going to be the biggest change per time, you know what I mean? Like ever, probably ever again. Like the next 10, 20 years, the next 100 years, whatever estimate you have, it's like the quantum renaissance, the AI renaissance. It's like everything will be different. We're going to be on a million planets, you know? We're not just going to be on Earth anymore. We'll be mining asteroids everywhere, and like everything's going to be radically, radically different. And there's this thing that's just in the air, this feeling of change that's coming. It's going to be sudden, it's going to be vicious, it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. But that's what's happening. That's what this precious blink of an eye moment in the grand scheme of history, where we've coincidentally landed by pure chance, it seems. I don't think it's pure chance. I think there's something else at play here, but this is big.
This is the
And
journey, bro.
yeah, the journey.
All fun and adventure.
What's that from?
Kid Cudi, bro. Probably one of the most
Oh yeah.
inspirational rappers out there.
Was Kid Cudi a big influence on your style?
I mean, he didn't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah,
He punched his principal in the face.
he did. I didn't know that. That's funny.
When I was in 12th grade, I was really like, I had senioritis bad, bro. I was going through some stuff with girls. I wasn't treating my body right. I was working all the time. It's bossing, you know, the hustle.
Of course.
And like, bro, I was in a dark place, and like, I did feel the light, though. I still felt the light, even when I was in the darkest of places. And
Yeah.
that's why, like, I feel like isolation is healthier than a lot of people say it is,
Yes.
because you
I'm
surround
a
yourself with
big
too many
believer.
people.
Yeah, I'm a big
It's like
believer
you
in
don't
that.
hear their voices.
I think if you take most people in society and like if they spend like a month alone, like in a cabin in the woods, or just, you know, away from other influences like social media or all these things, and like other people, I think they would, on the most part, it would be really positive change, in the sense that when you're alone, it forces you to just think about things, on a really deep level, and what you want out of life, and what your purpose, your mission is, and everything kind of comes from that. You have to be alone for a long period of time. And what I see a lot is people who go through crazy circumstances, like the stories of like a guy that gets shipwrecked, or gets like lost on a mountain hiking, or something, and they're forced by their circumstance to stay by themselves for a long period of time. Also, people who get into like an accident. Like I was just talking to my friend, he had gotten into a bad accident and skiing, and he was pretty much confined to his bed for a while, and he couldn't even like have the strength to like look at his phone. So it forced him to just be alone, like staring all the time for a long time, and just it changed him. You know, these events changed people for a reason, because in our normal lives we're not forced to be alone ever. So we're always having the influence of other things, but we do need that refreshing state of isolation.
Right. Yeah, I didn't just grow up in Boston, though. I grew up in New Mexico for a couple years.
Wow, tell me about that, and what kind of influence did that have on your life?
Honestly, that was actually a breath of fresh air, even though it was harder to breathe up there. Type shit, I lived in Santa Fe. It was a really nice, like, small town, like, family vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to, like, a pretty good school type shit.
Nice.
And it was just very, like, non-judgmental, like, the kids. Like, I was just really, like, accepted out there, which in Boston, like, I used to get made fun of for wearing Reeboks. You know, be like, you don't got no Jordans?
Really?
Ah, you don't got no Jordans. Motherfuckers used to bully each other for sneakers.
How did that impact you? Because I noticed you do have like a really unique fashion sense, and it's like you have like a. I feel like that you express yourself a lot through that, through fashion. Am I right?
Yeah, you're definitely right, bro. I love clothes. I love expressing myself, and I don't like copycats and fashion, like cheap fashion, and even the term in general, because I just think it's a way of being. And yeah, you can express how you feel through an outfit, and that's beautiful.
I think that's
That's
really
what
powerful.
I see people with suits on. I'm like, yeah, y'all are Matrix agents.
Yeah, but some suits can be pretty fire, like a nice
Yeah, you're right.
Givenchy
You're right.
suit.
When you're going out with a girl,
Yeah,
not when
hell
you're
yeah.
going to work at 5 a.m.
Yeah, 100%. Um, yeah, I like fashion too. I've always been interested in fashion and expressing myself through that medium. And I guess I never really thought about it consciously, but I definitely do make choices about what I wear. Kind of, I've been being more like understated, if that makes sense. Like earth kind of colors and like really like low key. But I think it goes really well with my personality and my taste for other areas of life, such as music, which I like to be something that's not like screaming, but more like really low key. But I love the screaming too, but just different. So it's like,
Out
I
of
think,
balance.
yeah, I think fashion is such a powerful tool for that kind of self-expression. And it, I think our tastes, like, in all areas of our life are pretty connected. But I love your style and yeah,
Thanks, bro.
yeah, it was one of the things I noticed initially about you, like just totally out of the matrix, totally not like just the opposite of the matrix. It's like you're going through life like I go through life kind of like it's a video game a lot of the time. So I'm looking at all the new characters that come into view constantly, and then like every so often there will be someone who it rings a little bell in my mind, which is like, okay, clearly this is a player. This is another player. um I don't see it like that. Like there's NPCs or something. I think everyone's a real character, but this is like a character in my life. Like this is like a side quest. Like this is like this guy has some wisdom or something, and like he's part of this game, the same like server that I'm in, I guess. Like maybe other people are in
Same
different
wavelength,
servers.
dog.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think everyone's real totally, but like maybe people are in their own servers, if that makes sense. And
Definitely. It's like, that's why I like music, bro. We all balance on frequencies. And
yeah.
once people
Oh
realize
yeah.
that, they raise their frequency, bro, and then you can connect with people who are doing the right thing on higher vibrations, and then, oh, you ascended.
So are you a believer in that thing, like with if you have it like a certain frequency like in the hertz scale, like you can unlock like some
I
hidden.
think I think you can go up deep, deep, or deep up. Do you feel me? Like you can fall down in lower levels of the abyss and deep, dark consciousness, which I have, and you can
That's
learn in those
interesting.
places too.
Yeah,
But you
I
can also
always love
level
the
up.
low end. I always love the low end with music, like more than the high end, I guess. I don't know.
But I
Um,
like both, bro.
yeah, both are essential. Um, Maybe it's just my ears. And yeah, I think that's really interesting. And
Message to anyone who make music type shit. Forget about the haters. I almost went to
100%.
prison this year over a hater.
Say it again?
I almost went to prison this year over someone hating on me.
How yeah, I mean, yeah, low key, like I can relate to that. Like they screw everything up. Like they snake their way into your life and just are obsessed with you, and it's it's like I always kind of think like love and hate, like Central C.
Yeah, I do.
He said love and hate, it's a similar thing. You can hate me or love me, there ain't no difference. But I think
It's like
about that a
pleasure and
lot.
pain.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's just unhealthy at a certain point, and like there are real, especially when you're out of the matrix, there are real people coming at you and and trying to like get in the way of your greatness or bring you down or make you feel ashamed about your greatness. And so I agree with that 100%, but also we have to be able to mentally deal with that because that's just one of the things that comes with this lifestyle. It's like,
Mental toughness,
yeah,
facts.
yeah, it's just part of this kind of path. So when you're going to be doing your own thing in life, you have to be mentally tough and you have to know how to deal with certain things and like what to let slide and what to not let slide and how to let things slide in a way that's not letting them slide, really. Um, you know what I mean?
I got you, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy, but but yeah, don't be a hater. That's a big theme. Like just
All you gotta do is love.
yeah,
All you need. Shit easy, bro.
and don't hate your haters.
Yeah, gotta pray for your enemies.
Yes.
Don't trust them though.
Hell no.
Can't even trust your friends sometimes. It's sad, man.
It is sad, but it's just part of life, you know? Like,
You gotta trust yourself and not bullshit. You gotta trust the journey. Look up.
yes. Yeah.
Big ass canopy.
Yeah, and it's not like that. It's like you don't need to trust your friends. Some friends you can confide certain things in,
For
but
sure.
the point of a friend is not to have that level of trust. That's something that like a partner is for.
Sacred bond, yeah.
Yeah, it's and it just in life, like in caveman times, it would be deadly to reveal anything to anyone who's out of that direct circle. So it's like that's really not what I get out of friends. What I get is more like just like like a respect and everything, but on like a real level where it's like the details are not important. It's more just like on a real level of like what are we trying to do? How are we gonna get there? And like how can we push each other to get there?
Nah, yeah, we gotta help each other out.
Yeah.
It's like we're alone on this journey, but we're all together, so we gotta figure it out. You know the movie Maze Runner?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, the movie is a good symbolism of life.
Explain that.
Just in the way like we wake up in this place. And obviously they're already older, but like then we get raised a certain way. And we grow up in this concrete jungle, especially in the city. And we just adapt to its culture environment, we get used to it and we're comfortable. But people don't realize sometimes their comfort zone can be a deadly place.
Mm-hmm. You're right
And
about
that's
that.
why I think traveling is very important on earth. Like you gotta look at other places, how they live, realize everywhere is your home.
You're totally right about that. Comfort is poison, and it's too acceptable in our society to chase comfort and like. But I mean, it's not too acceptable. Like if that's what.
Stability is different than comfort. That's the
Yeah,
thing. People are like
yeah.
mix the
It
two.
it's like I'm fine with everyone chasing comfort, and but I'm just not gonna do that. But I'm like, it's too like we're almost pressured by the system to chase comfort. So it's like they're doing it in a kind of a malicious way. I know it's not like some secret group of people making these decisions, but it's more like a collective subconscious thing where it's like we're pressured to just be obedient and to just go with the flow and to choose comfort above all else when in reality that can be detrimental to our identity and to our journey in life. We have to be always just like the book. Remember the book I gave you? Like it's
The
all of
rats and the cheese, yeah.
yeah, it's all about just getting up
Remove that shit.
and going. Just getting up and going with the flow with everything.
And that's what my name means, you know that? Forever flowing, everlasting,
I didn't know
never
that.
failing, eternal.
That's awesome. What is that from?
It's a Greek name because my mother is Greek.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, it's eternal, bro, perpetual. That's why I like my freestyle name to be Aenaon, just my first name, because it'd be like, yo, I can always keep rapping, bro. I don't stop.
Hell
That shit
yeah.
off the dome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you I remember we tried recording a couple songs for you and that was fun. Yeah. I love music, and I think I'll always be involved with music in some way.
Music is life, bro. Do you think heaven's gonna be quiet?
Hell no. Yeah, I can't imagine what that would be like. Lately, I've been thinking it might be possible to avoid altogether with AI and quantum. Uh, we can kind of live forever. We'll just replace the parts as we go. Uh, Something I've been thinking about, like, but I know we can. I don't like hypotheticals. Same like you, and so it's better not to worry about it. But I really think I love life so much that if it's medically possible, I will be immortal.
Immortal, the word comes from amor, which means love in Spanish. So if you love yourself, you love the universe, you love life, you live forever.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. Wait, really?
Immortal, amor. Yeah, bro.
It comes from amor.
Bro, think about it. Spain, Latin,
That makes a lot of sense.
deep roots.
That's really interesting. But yeah, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like I just love life and I love the journey. I'm not obsessed with any destinations. I just
But you
love
get too caught up in this dimension, the third plane, bro. Y'all are missing out on the real aspects of energy in life. Like, it's good to tap down to your third dimension and organize your room, which I do every day. But then, like, I love to meditate. I love to rap, sing. I love to hang out with my girlfriend. You feel me? Like, have a real deep, sacred connection. And keep that
100%.
private.
Yeah, I'm on that wavelength too. Um, and or at least I try to be. And you're right. And yeah, meditation is a big thing too. Yeah, I was just talking.
You don't gotta sit crisscross to meditate. There are plenty of ways to meditate,
Yeah,
peeps.
just dealing with shit is meditation, just like dealing with shit in a way. And like what you have to do, like dealing with your shit. And but also I do like to just sit sometimes and meditate because for me it's like I just love that feeling of feeling connected mind, body, and spirit with the universe.
Right. My mother, she owns a yoga studio in Rosendale. And
Nice.
she's all about that. She does acupuncture as well and Reiki. So I
Nice.
grew up in a very like spiritual environment in my house. And my father wasn't always like a part of our life.
Yeah. Did that have
So I
an
was really,
impact on you?
I think I'm just a lot more in touch with the feminine energy in the world
Nice.
because of my mother. And she's kind of prepared me for like things that she went through, which I guess I didn't get to learn about everything my dad went through. But I feel like now I really get to be my own man and figure things out. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job so far.
Nice.
Even though I fucked up a few times, but there ain't no such thing as fucking up.
Yeah, hell no. It's not a yeah, people will ask you like, why are you so happy when this horrible thing happened? And it's like it's never a loss. It's always just a lesson.
Something, bro.
Yeah, it's all it is God just telling you, like giving you a clue or a hint about how to live. So it's like there's no loss. Never. It's never a loss. Like that's a mindset thing. Like you can't
Bro,
lose.
I tell you, I feel like really connected to a higher realm too. Because this year, like early January 1st, when the year was shifting, I was working at a job, at Flavor Boom, my old work,
Yeah.
and I was serving people, and I closed at 8 p.m. This guy comes in at like 7:30, a really old man. He's probably walking on his cane. He asked for the eggplant, so I scoop him some eggplant, I give him a good portion, wrap it up in the bag, have my nice conversation, and let him go upon his day. And on the way out, this man drops his food and falls in the stairs.
Yeah.
And at the same time, a delivery driver with the name of Love came back in the store and said his car broke down. And then another customer came in who wasn't allowed to be in the store all at once. And it just felt really chaotic. And I was like, yo, what's going on here? Like, it feels like everything's coming to an end. And I just breathed and solved all the problems one at a time. I helped the man up, got him a chair, some water, talked to the Uber driver and gave him the Uber contact's number. And like at the end, I just realized that because the last person in there was Love, and he was with me for an hour, and that was like a symbolism that because I love myself and people around me, that Love's always with me,
Wow.
even in like chaotic moments.
Yeah, that sounds like God was directly speaking to you in that moment. And do you think in your life you were going through something bigger and that helped you deal with it?
Yeah, definitely. I was going through some old karmic stuff type shit that I kind of deserved to go through, and I had to learn.
Yeah.
And now I feel like God really blessed me in this new relationship, so that's why I'm keeping things private right now. And I'm just focusing on the new hustle I have going. Don't stop. No days. No time.
100%. Um, yeah, I like that sentiment. Keeping things private, just dealing with things. And I know it sounds crazy coming from me because I'm doing this podcast and, I'm pretty public about a lot of stuff. But in terms of details about, specifics, that's not the importance of the podcast. It's more just ideas. And it's ideas about life and about self optimization and technology and culture and art and everything. It's
Yeah, bro. What do you think about angels?
angels are very interesting to me. Well, it just depends what you mean, but I think angels are real. I think I've been connected to angels for a long time. And I remember there was this like prayer or something in my childhood I would say when before I was going to sleep, and it had to do with different angels and like the ones who were looking after me. But in the sense of things or beings, entities out there floating in consciousness, I think it's true. There are certain ones who are watching me, every move I make, and there are things happening beyond my understanding. And I think, yeah, a lot of people are,
Bro, you
I
can't say understand. That's why. You have to say overstand or understand, and then things become clearer. That's what I
overstand
realized.
or
I almost
understand.
got into an altercation this year, right?
Yeah, I like that.
And my mom's ex-boyfriend
No,
was trying
not
to
not
fight
the
me.
altercation. I said I like that to like the overstand versus
Mom
understand.
help. My mom's ex-boyfriend was trying to fight me type shit over some bullshit.
Damn. I kind of
And I
remember
wasn't
that.
yeah, bro, I wasn't having it. So I finally stood up for myself, and he's like running after me. I'm trying to leave the house. I'm going to New York. He's like, don't you understand me? Don't you understand me? And I realized what that meant. Like, stand, understood. You stand under me. You're worth less than me. And I was like, hold on. Nah, bro. I understand what you mean, and I overstand you right now. Leave me alone.
That's fire. That's so fucking fire. That's awesome. Like not the conflict, but just the overstand.
The
Like
conflict was a lot of lessons in my life I
yeah,
need to learn
yeah.
in one day.
Yeah, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. It's a win in the sense that you're learning something. Um
That's the thing. It's like, the rapper Lucky, right? He's like, there's a song called Space Boy. He's like, I'm full of love, but they hate me. Because
yeah,
it's like, yeah, why
I
do you
don't know
radiate?
Lucky.
That's crazy, bro. He's a pretty well-known rapper now. He used to be really underground.
Yeah. But I like that sentiment. Um
But yeah, that's why you got to be yourself. Can't care about no one's perception.
100% unapologetically so. So this is a big thing. I'm this thing I'm so happy, but I'm finally like not finally, it's my whole life has it's always a journey, right? But I'm completely letting go of worrying about the world's perception of me. I just don't care. It I'm like, and I know, like, I would say this for years. I would say like I don't care. But there was part of me that did, and now it's gone. It's like really becoming apparent that it's dead. That part of me that cares. And it's like that's freedom.
Facts, bro. You got to nurture your inner child.
Yeah.
So you're just supposed to be playing in the park, bro. Playing in the park, going home
100%.
when it's dark. Motherfuckers on the DS. I remember playing Mario growing up, man. Escaping from reality was the best.
Say that again.
I said escaping from reality was the best, bro. Growing up, like you playing video games as a kid,
Yeah. Yeah, that
especially
makes
if you
sense.
grew up in a home where like your parents like wasn't stable, which in America that's a lot of us type shit.
Yeah. Yeah, escaping reality and
But that's where drug addiction is a problem too. But my friend was reminding me, it's like mystical people usually go on those journeys with the drug addiction, and they just want to really experience God, but they don't know how.
you're right. Yeah, I think
And I make friends with a lot of homeless people out here in the city. Like I watch people spit on homeless people in my city. It's ridiculous, bro. Like they're really struggling. You spit on them to get a job. Like they don't nobody want to hire them because they're dirty.
yeah.
And I talk to some of these people, and that's why I believe in angels too, because I believe I met angels through homeless people. And in Greece, they have a tradition, and it was an old tradition where like Zeus, one of the sky gods, the main gods, type shit, he dressed up as a homeless man and like changed his appearance, be all dirty, clothes off. Like he would come up to your door, knock on the door, he'd be like, "Yo, can you please help me with some food, some water, just clothes, anything, shelter for the night?" And if they said no, he flipped the switch. Like a week later, the house would blow away. Like bad fortune. Like you didn't help your own like bloodline, your own peoples. And then like if you did, weeks later you'd get like new opportunities, riches, good luck, fortune, like health, prosperity. And it is like this shit don't exist, and we forget about it, so we hoard it. And then there's people who are literally dying in the streets.
Damn.
Nah, man, city
But
life ain't easy, bro.
that's fire that you make friends with homeless people and what you said about like uh in Boston especially like people really look down on homeless people. I remember one time I was like
Like
walking
bum,
like
crackhead.
sorry?
That's what we call them, crackhead,
Yeah.
bum.
Like this one time I was walking somewhere in Boston and then like this car driving past I was like right on the street, and then they rolled down their window and they screamed like junkie at me, like because I guess he thought I was like one of because I was like right on Mass
Yeah,
Ave.
mass off. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like and so I guess with my tattoos and everything, like I just didn't have like a clean appearance, and but I got to see firsthand like what that's no, obviously not exactly, but like that feeling of like wow, this guy thinks I'm like less than a human. Like it's crazy. Um, but yeah, you feel me?
Bro, you're funny. I be getting the judgmental looks on the train with my speaker, my nappy head hair.
Yeah, we
I
just
just be smiling back.
can't let it get to you. Yeah. Yeah. Um, something that helped me with that too, getting to that point was when I've been living in like around New York City and like Jersey City,
Don't get me started.
but I would play guitar just on the street and like have my case open so people could give me money. And
Fire, bro.
yeah, I did that for a long time. Like every night I would do it, and it really played a big impact on me and just accepting like that it doesn't fucking matter. No one gives a fuck what you're doing in life. Like
It do not matter,
people are
no.
living their own missions. It's purely a distraction and creating an obstacle for yourself to put so much emphasis on what they might think of you.
Man, you be speaking straight facts.
You too, my man.
Blow my nose to get my fault. Woo! All right, let's keep talking. Let's keep talking.
All right.
I like to bring up the food in this country.
Talk to me about the food. What have you noticed about the food? What kind of food and culinary influence did you have growing up in New Mexico and in Boston?
Bro, I grew up eating poison. Straight out. I used to love fast food. I love snacks, bro. I used to go get my quarters, grab some honey buns, grab me some gummy bears, some soda pop. Bro, I was wilding. All I ate was snacks. And then I was in like fifth grade. I was like, yo, why am I fat? And like I remember I was really like unstable as a kid. Like my mood would swing. And of course I'm a Gemini, so that's probably a given.
Yeah, me
But
too. I'm a Leo,
oh,
not a Gemini,
you're a
but
Leo?
same thing.
Fire, bro.
Yeah.
Straight fire.
But go on.
And like type shit, I used to just grow up off junk food. And in like seventh, eighth grade, I started going to health class and realizing like, oh wait, we're supposed to be eating real food. And like
Yeah.
my mom, she was just so busy. Like she get them frozen meals type shit, and she'd be so tired coming home.
Yeah.
So we whip up them frozen meals. So I used to like cook up mac and cheese and shit. And then in eighth grade, I started cooking for myself, and I was cooked eggs and toast, like whole wheat.
Nice.
And then yeah, I love fruits though. I've always loved fruits and vegetables,
So it
but I
sounds
do
like you
want to start a health food type shit.
got on that wave early then. For me it took a longer time. Like it wasn't until I was like really until I was like 20 21 when I realized that I have to eat healthy food to feel good. Like I just never made that connection and but it sounds like you got on the wave kind of early. So how has it been
Yeah, bro, I was like
maintaining
14.
that?
Recently, a lot better. I look in stores like don't go to CVS. That shit is poison. They sell you perks in the back and hella
What?
opioids.
In the back?
Well, bro,
But through a
it's a
legal way.
pharmacy.
Through a legal
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
but then in the front they legally sell you poison.
Oh yeah,
Red
that's
Dot
facts.
40s, all the candies, the chips, the soda. Motherfuckers be like, here, come to our health store and buy some unhealthy products. Yo, like, what? That's why I
Yeah.
call America stupid.
Yeah, no, for real. It's like pretty crazy how well the economy influences that, but like yeah, the fact that it's a pharmacy selling poison is wild. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. There's some
I
crazy
feel like
stuff.
acid really shifted me out of the matrix in a way, too. I don't
Oh,
want to
one million
totally
percent.
credit that,
Yes. Yeah.
but it definitely played a big part in kind of like breaking the spiritual barriers between reality.
No,
Like, I remember one of my first trips, my second trip actually, I grew a beard in the mirror and I became an old man. And I was like, wow, I'm old. I lived a
nice.
long time. And I looked outside and I seen the Buddha in the tree waving to me. My mom loves Buddhist principles. So that really stood out to me. And just that
Nice.
night, I felt like the only enemy is yourself. That's the only thing that can really stop you. And like, we do have a dark, deep shadow side within us that we all know is there. And some people like don't like to show it. That's why through my music, I think I want to balance the light and the dark and dive on both.
Yeah, it's refreshing that you're so like open to the world in terms of your music and portraying that kind of side of you most people keep hidden. Um, was that a process of coming to that level of vulnerability or not vulnerability, but just openness to the point where you're comfortable with people seeing like all these different sides of your personality?
Yeah, man. I mean, I see what a lot of things like celebrities when they get famous, it really does mess them up too. So that's why I'm like the way I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't chased fame at all in a way because I really haven't dropped anything to the public. Like I'm really just focused in on helping my mom right now.
Yeah. But it's funny,
But
like you are like a public figure, but you're not like public.
I'm not up there. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like,
minding my business.
yeah,
I don't use Snapchat. I don't use TikTok ever. I haven't used it all year. I use Instagram like once a week. Shorty would send me DMs. I open them. Probably leave them on red, but it's all love.
oh yeah,
Everyone.
100%, 100%. Um, yeah,
I like YouTube though. YouTube's pretty fire.
yeah, that's why I've been putting my pod just only on YouTube for now, at least. Like, because I believe in this thing of I have this mentality of grow as you go. So like just step by step and not trying to do it all at once. It's like, because in business, we always try to optimize a product which shouldn't exist in the first place. So you could spend like a year making the perfect, like, edible brand or designing exactly everything. Or you could release a much simpler version of the product first to see what the market is and then respond to that data and keep going step by step. That way you're always making something, and it's not like if you spend a year doing it, the whole world could change in that year. Um
Probably will.
yeah. Yeah, 100%. The world's changing quickly
Just did
now.
my cross.
Say it again?
Just had to do my cross real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the world's changing, but we have to love the change. Just like in the book, it's like um
Yeah, bro. Love
we
yourself.
we gotta love the
Love
change
starts
so
within.
much that we instigate it ourselves. But
And
yeah,
that just be the change. That's what I realized too. It's like the serpent entity, whatever they want to call it, is really like wanting us to fight each other, fight for the power. So when you let go of the power, that's the power right there.
yes. I think you're right about that. But I still do like the pursuit of power. Um
Yeah, it's all for a reason.
yeah, it's all for a reason, and I think everything happens for a reason, like really like
Say that
Jadakiss
again, bro.
said.
If you're really tuned in, everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah, it's all connected. It's all intertwined
That's why
cosmically.
dreams are very interesting to me.
What do you think
I'm
dreams are?
sometimes visions, past lives, demons, spirits, angels, ancestors. I think it can be anything. God. Like I've had a lot of strange dreams recently. The past year, since I was a kid, I had dreams about death, me crashing cars. I grew up like I had the same dream as my sister multiple nights in a row.
Wow.
You know, I used to sleep in the same room. I slept in a little baby loft. She slept in the crib.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a pretty good memory. My first memory is from when I was 2.
What?
Yeah, bro.
Two.
When I was 2 years old, maybe 1.5, I was looking at a water bug, a spider or something in the water. I was at a little pond in Lynn, Massachusetts, where I was born. My mom had my sister in a stroller, probably holding her, carrying her around. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to touch the bug, make friends with the bug, some shit. I was literally like looking in the water, I remember. And I remember I fell in and I started sinking. And I remember how peaceful it was down there. My eyes were open. It was so quiet. I sank pretty far and then my mom pulled me out. And that's all I remember.
Crazy. That's
But I feel
so
like I
crazy.
baptized myself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, that totally could have had a big impact on the way you see life now, I think.
Probably. Wait, what was I saying? The other experience?
You were talking about that dream you had, like when you were with your
Oh, yeah.
sister.
Yeah, me and my sister, we had the same dream. And I woke up in the crib and we talked about it. We had a dream where a bunch of animals were in the room with us. Crocodile lady, big elephant dude, like a few other different type of ancient species, bro. And we were asking like, yo, where's our mom at? Where's our mom? And like, I don't remember what they said. Like, I don't know. Like, she's around here soon, sweetie. But it was a crocodile lady talking to us with a southern accent. And we woke up and talked about it. And that's just so strange to me how we have the same dream.
That is really weird. Um, yeah, and it's fascinating. Like that memory you had when you were 2 or 1.5, it's like, do you think that the reason you remember it is because of it could have been traumatic in some way, like to be falling and sinking?
Probably. It's just important. It's
And
just like a lesson, my first lesson in life.
and maybe
Can't
that
survive everywhere.
that forced your brain to remember it. Because my first memories were from when I was 3. Um, and some of them did have to do with like like a not traumatic, but just like an incident. Like I got lost. We were at some we were hiking kind of. There was a farm that we were going to on some mountain somewhere, and I got lost, and it was raining, and I was like running through the woods. Um, I must have been three. I for some reason I remember it was when I was three, but maybe I was 4 or 5. I don't know, but I was I was completely lost from my family, and I was really internally like broke down because it was like I felt completely done and powerless to find them. And it was raining and I was in the woods and scared for hours. And that really like my brain just forced me to remember that. Like but I obviously wouldn't just remember any random day from when I was 3.
Yeah, bro, that's a crazy day right there.
Yeah. Um but that's really interesting you're so in touch with your memory like that.
Definitely got a pretty good memory as much as the short term recently
Yeah.
ain't as good as it used to be. But
No,
yeah,
I
I got
wouldn't.
long term
I
memory.
think I wouldn't say that. I don't think you should see it like that sounds like self-limited limiting belief. Like you're not impaired by like your memory is you can improve it. It can like heal.
That's why I eat sea moss.
Okay, this is really interesting because my friend just got into CMOS. He was telling me about it. Um, what does CMOS do for you, and why do you eat CMOS?
So I'm actually selling the sea moss right now too.
Yeah.
And
And
I have
what
this
is
bar.
CMOS?
It's usually found in Ireland or the Caribbean. It's a seaweed, literally like sea comes from the sea. It's like moss, and it has like 96, I think, out of 102 minerals that you need.
Wow.
And I remember I wrote this rap a couple years back in high school. I'd be like, another night sipping sea moss, subconscious little creature trying to detox. Not narcissistic, it's just who else do I know? Done playing with hearts, trying to heal up your soul. Always battle darkness, it grew a part of me. The light so bright, leave a shadow on still. Big cities full of sirens and Greek mythology. Luckily, this blood in me came from God's, yeah.
That's so fire.
Feel me, bro?
So were you drinking CMOS at that time or
Yeah, bro.
experimenting with
I
it?
love Jamaican food. Jamaicans do it the best. With the spices, it's always bussin'. Bomba
I
clap.
love Jamaica. I
Woo!
love Jamaican food too, but I can't remember ever seeing CMOS on the menu at a Jamaican place.
It's because when I was living in Brooklyn, bro, I used to live right near like Prospect Park, like little Caribbean type
Okay,
shit,
I'm
Flatbush.
familiar with the area.
Bro, they have the best food in the city, in Crown Heights too.
Nice.
Oxtail stew, bro, with a sea moss punch after work saved my life
Wow.
those days.
What, so would it be like sweet? Like what would the punch be
Yeah, they
like?
usually do it peanut punch, sometimes sea moss. It'd be really yummy.
Nice.
And they do a coconut too. But I actually sell sea moss gels myself for $15 a jar. And I infuse it with 6 or 7 fruits: dates, strawberries, elderberries, blueberries, kiwis,
Do you have a
dates.
website for
But I
that?
think I said,
Or is it
nah, I
like
just be selling it
private
personally.
orders?
Pretty much private for now, but
I
I'm gonna
think
work on that website.
that's a really good business right now. Like having like so are the ones you're selling like a shake kind of like that or different?
So it is kind of, you're only supposed to eat 1 or 2 teaspoons a day, preferably one actually, because it has so much iodine. And you can mix it with a smoothie, mix it in your breakfast, yogurt, whatever. Just take it raw. It doesn't taste that bad.
And so you're selling like the concentrated like pure
So yeah,
sea
I'm
moss.
selling straight with made with real fruits type shit, like not no juice.
And
Mixed in with
especially like with the summer coming, people like a refreshing drink, like especially with sea moss, will do so well. Like I could totally see you like scaling that business really quickly. Having a website too would be good and having it digital, but doing like some pop-up events in Boston, just selling them like at the park and like
fire, bro.
yeah, yeah, I would love helping you with something like that.
I know you need like the shopping cart, or you need like a permit for the food cart.
Yeah.
But if you have one without a cook, you can have it pretty cheap. Like you
Yeah.
just have everything in a little fridge box. I have all these things frozen in my freezer right now because it will obviously expire in like a week in the fridge. With all
Mm-hmm.
the fruits, but they last 3 months in the freezer. You take them out, you take a scoop, good.
Nice.
Clears up your skin too.
That's awesome. Do you ever imagine having like a little kind of shop where you have you can buy edibles, this, weed, or
Yes, bro. I do.
CMOS, just a whole range of products. Um,
One day.
that
But
sounds
that's the other
fire.
part of
And a
it too.
restaurant
It's
too, maybe combined with that.
it's hard to like chase society's norms too and capitalism sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like you're chasing after what everyone else is chasing, trying to start your own business. When I feel like I said earlier in the podcast, like we all had community gardens and did big cookings together. Like we'd all not have to work as much, and we could all eat and
You're
know our
right.
neighbors like we're supposed to.
You're totally
It's like
right
we
about
all
that.
work, get back at different hours, crash out, sleep. Motherfuckers wake up, gotta groggily get in your car to the train. That's why I like riding the train. At least I'm with other people, and like I like blasting music on the train. Like you met me, I didn't care, but obviously some people ain't as cool as you, and people will be like hating on me pretty often for the music.
Damn.
But a lot of people do appreciate it too. I feel like it's much necessary in this city.
And to your point about how I'm kind of like chasing like what other people in society are chasing to start my own business and all that, I think it's a really layered thing. So you're totally right. Like in a perfect world, what I would be doing is just living in harmony with the world and not chasing some kind of materialistic thing. But the fact is that other people are, and they sort of will be because it's part of our nature and it's part of my nature too to like chase things. So if I'm in their world and I choose to live in harmony like without doing like something real, then I will be at the mercy of them because they will have all the power in terms of physical things, like telling me where I can live, where I can go, what I can have, what I can't have, what I can't afford, what I can't afford, what freedoms can I have. So it's like I kind of see it like I'm in like a desperate battle of like of freedom of like getting to that point where I'm not at the mercy of the winds of these other powers and I can have my own technology, like chase my own outcome. And so I think it's like a combination of things, but especially if I have people I'm looking
Balance.
out for, I have to be on top of that shit. Like, because it's not just about me, it's like people who rely on me and like I kind of owe it to them and just to, you know what I mean? To like
Yeah, I
have
do.
some security.
Stability and security is important.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's what I always demand from life is like stability and security.
That's the
Um
thing. When you go to the zoo, the animals are usually together,
mhm.
and it's like they're in that environment they're not used to, just like all of us.
Yeah, I love going to
But
the zoo.
they're
Yeah.
together, man, and they're eating their veggies. We be eating meat.
And
That's I
veggies,
be
yeah.
thinking recently. I think recently, bro, like I've been eating less meat.
That's fire. Talk to me about that.
I mean, I grew up eating meat. My dad was a meathead. He goes to the gym all the time, like 24/8. My motherfucker got the gym, lifting. It's like that's his personality. You feel me?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. He's really built. But it was like I didn't go down that path yet because I'm so focused on the hustle and helping my mom and everything and music and creativity. And like I'm like I know this body's temporary, but we do have to take care of our bodies because they're a temple. Yeah, my dad like he was a big meathead, and recently I started eating less meat just because I'm like he was always so angry. You feel me? Like the testosterone obviously is a reason, but
Yeah, but I love having more testosterone. You know what I mean? Like that
yeah, me
is
too, bro. I have too much sometimes.
no, I don't think it's too much. Like I think that's just like we should like we're meant like if we were living like a real primal lifestyle, our testosterone levels on
Yeah,
average
we'd
would
have
be
to
a lot
rage way
higher.
more.
they would be way higher than they are now because our society is so like dulled down and feminized and all these different things. But I think we shouldn't be ashamed of testosterone or estrogen or whatever it is. Like we should be like
Yeah, I'm
embracing
hairy as
that
fuck.
shit. Sorry?
I'm hairy as fuck, bro. I don't shave.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do with my beard, like, cause growing
Oh,
it
let it
out.
grow. Let it
Yeah,
grow, bro.
it's
See
just
what it look
not
like.
there yet, though. You know what I mean?
My dad used to say, just keep shaving, it gets thicker. My shit pretty thick.
Yeah, yeah. It is a genetic thing too, of course. Like maybe I'll just have to wait a bit longer, but because when I grow it out now, it's pretty scrappy still. So like, uh,
Yeah,
but
that's what people got to be careful.
I
The
bet
men, if you like
CMOS helps with
testosterone,
that.
don't eat soy products all
Yeah,
the
I'm
time.
off soy completely. Yeah.
They put that in all the snacks too. Soy emulsifier, soy lectin.
Um, yeah, soy is like big no for testosterone.
So yeah, I do like meat. I still like chicken. I love fish. Fish is my favorite. Salmon.
Yeah, that those are the best, the fish, yeah.
Bro, ready? Yesterday I made some crazy mac and cheese. It sounds weird, but I'm a weird dude, so that's why. Blueberry, vanilla, jerk, barbecue, chili, salmon, mac and cheese baked with breadcrumbs, Italian style. Yo,
That's wild. Yeah, I wouldn't eat it just because I don't like cheese, but it sounds
fair.
fire.
Yeah, bro, that shit different.
That is creative as fuck though. That's really cool.
You want the recipe? I got you. $10.
You need to make a website to start to put all this stuff like your ideas, your recipes, like make like a monthly price and then people can have access to all this stuff and like or like be like on like some delivery club or something like yeah.
Yo. Yeah, bro. I
Yeah,
feel like
you
we were
could do
talking about New York for a
coaching.
second.
You could do coaching, like life coaching, like one on one. Like people would pay like a monthly fee and then do like a call. All right, wait. What were you saying about New York though?
I have hundreds, maybe thousands of stories about New York, different times, different fun times, good times, paranoia times, police interaction times, studio times. But ready? The
Yeah,
most spiritual time
tell me
was
about it.
underneath Wall Street.
Underneath Wall Street in the subway stations.
Yup,
What happened?
yup. So I used to dabble in some darker things, like I said earlier in the podcast, and I was doing those darker things at 3 in the morning in a Wall Street penthouse.
Yeah.
And, I was making my money the stock way, the American way.
Yeah, I got you.
And I went down. It was almost 4 in the morning. I'm going back to my Brooklyn dorm room. I'm waiting at the train. It's probably a 14-minute wait because it's so late.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at the edge. I'm isolating myself at the edge of this train station. No one can see me. At the end of the train station, I hear a voice that says, "I can sense you." And see, I'm looking up. I'm like, what the? A few seconds go by. All of a sudden, I hear, "I can feel you." I'm like, yo, what's going on here? And he said, "I'm almost there." So at this point, I'm just like, I don't care. I really don't. I've been through all sorts of shit. I've been through all types of shit. So I didn't care. He popped over and I said, "Boo." I said, "Boo." And he said, "I found you." He was wearing a Black Panther mask. I could not see this man's face. He was wearing all black in a hoodie. The hoodie's up. I could see his eyes. He was a black dude. And he's like, "I'm a voodoo expert." And he said, "You're weird." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "You're a spirit." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "But like a ghost." And I was like, "What?" And he was just talking to me. He's like, "Bro, why are you hanging out around here?" I was like, "What you mean?" He's like, "This is where the evil spirits hang out." I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "The people in the suits, they reincarnate here every time, doing the same thing, destroying the earth. You're not supposed to be here." And I was just like, "What?" 4 in the morning. I was just trying to interpret him, and we got on the train together. He sits across from me on the train. He's talking to me, but we're going underneath the Brooklyn Bridge. So it's like
Yeah,
I can't
I
hear
know that
Jack.
route.
I can't hear nothing. He's talking to me. All I heard the whole time when he was talking to me under that stop was "Just breathe," and then I never seen him again after he got off.
That's wild.
That's his advice. Just breathe.
That is really good advice. Yeah, just breathe and things will sort of work themselves out. I like that. Um,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of religions will be like, "Oh, voodoo is bad. That stuff is evil." And it can be. You can
yeah,
use it
some
that
of
way,
it's definitely probably bad.
but a lot of it is traditional magic, and like
yeah.
Africans used to use magic and stuff, and I don't see it as evil exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's
same.
more of a spirituality thing, like connecting with the stars and
I think like there's like some dark elements of it which are like hyped up whenever people talk about voodoo, but the large part of it is what you're saying, like spiritual and healthy and a healthy spiritual outlet. Um, I think that's really
just like
interesting.
religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism,
Yes.
Buddhism,
Yes,
Taoism,
yeah.
Taoism, Hinduism, the whole schism.
Yes, all of that stuff.
It's like you can use it to empower yourself to believe in something bigger than yourself. But then
Hmm.
if you use it as like a prison or like
Um,
a way to control someone else, it's different. I feel like.
you're right about that. And you mentioned you had some more crazy New York stories. Are there any others you'd want to share?
Whew. I don't know, bro. There's a lot there. There was some really good times out there. A lot of
Yeah,
rock star friends.
nice. Yeah, that's the thing about New York. It's like just everyone's there. Like it's just you know.
Man, we gotta stick together out in New York. People be like, New York's a mean place. Yeah, if you radiate weird energy, if you're full of love, all you receive in that city is love, and it's beautiful.
Hmm.
And that's why it's like people are blunt in New York. They get to the point. You got some dirt on your shoe, bro. Clean your shoe. It ain't no disrespect. It's looking out for each other.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean about that. New York's so wild. It's fast paced. It's hyper. It's stimulating, overstimulating.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of love in New York.
but yeah, full
It's
of
like a
love. Yeah.
very adventurous place too, because you can go to different towns and feel like you're in Italy and China in the same block.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that I remember walking in the street in Brooklyn, like I must have been 16. And I was like, okay, last block it was like all Moroccans, and now it's like all like a different country, and like it's like so like crazy, like going block to block and like different little worlds, and
Love that, man.
yeah,
It's
it's awesome.
a refresher.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah, that's where
the
it's supposed
food,
to be.
wouldn't you say the food in there's just so I feel like
The food is awesome in New York, bro.
compared to
Like
Boston though, like Boston has great food, of course, but it's like few and far between, if that makes sense.
you can get a 3 a.m. chopped cheese in Boston. You gotta
Yeah,
make it in your kitchen.
yeah,
You can go to the deli out here.
and there's
Everyone
like
goes to
no
bed at
like
11.
there's like good like really expensive restaurants, but there's no good like normal price restaurants. Like they're all
Nah, I
like
can't say
just
that.
bad. You don't think
The
so?
best chicken sandwich is at the Go Away House. It's my old job. It's a little Irish pub.
The Go Away House.
Go Away House in Jamaica Plain, Center Street.
I'll
They got
have
the
to check
best
that
chicken
out.
sandwich in town.
Oh,
Honorary
I don't
Jack.
know. Maybe I've been there before because I was always on Center Street. Um,
Morning Jack chicken. That shit hit.
nice. How did Jamaica Plain influence you? Because that's a wild place.
Def- Jamaica Plain. Yes, this is a different place, I'd say. I don't know about wild anymore. If it was the 70s and 80s, it
Maybe
definitely was a
when I
wild
say
place.
wild, I mean just so different from like other places I lived in the sense of it's so like not cut like all the bike lanes and like everyone's like so happy, not happy, but like just
Everyone's gay.
yeah. I think yeah, I think okay in the sense of the word gay as in like that kind of like happy like casualness. I don't know how to explain it. Europeanness. You know what I mean?
Everyone's lighthearted and carefree, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah. Jamaica Plain was definitely an interesting place to grow up because it is different. They're the only neighborhood in Boston that like cut out all fast food chains except they have
Really?
the two dunk. They have two Dunkin' Donuts,
Yeah, I know the
but
Dunkins.
there's no McDonald's in JP because the Eggleston one is like Roxbury technically.
Yeah,
There's
I love the
no
Eggleston Square. I was always around there. Like, it's a
there's
cool
no
place.
Domino's, no Wendy's because they I think they petitioned like mad long ago. But JP is a very open and accepting neighborhood. Like I said, people are very lighthearted, but they also are pretty gay. It's a very like homosexual neighborhood now, and a very
I didn't
gentrified
realize that,
neighborhood.
but that explains a lot of stuff I noticed. Yeah.
It's also
Um,
very gentrified, and there's a big cutoff from like the Jackson Square projects, which is where a lot of Dominicans and African people live. And it's like they're living in pretty bad conditions still, and then they're building condos right next to them, which is kind of messed up in my opinion. Like expensive ass condos
yeah, I get
right
the
next to the
sense
projects.
a lot of people there are like really like maybe not rich, but like they have money and they're they're always acting like they're above like other people, if that makes sense in some ways. Not all of them, but because I remember there was this thing, this controversial thing with Center Street where it's like they made a deal with the police, so the police are not allowed to like blast the sirens on Center Street. But it's kind of like why would they get that privilege when like another like really poor town can't just tell the police to not blast the sirens? You know what I mean?
Hey, bro, it's all controversy. There was some stuff about the corrupt police in Boston too. Some
Yeah,
troopers.
talk to me about that if you feel comfortable because I noticed a lot and I had semi like things I that I were happening in Jamaica Plain where it was
Mhm.
like publicized corruption being exposed. So
I just got pulled over the other day in New Hampshire.
yeah.
The cops like, oh, you was 4 miles away from going in cuffs. Guess what? I'm gonna take 14 miles off because I'm feeling like the boss. So what? This dude give me a ticket, then whips it. He speeds away like 98. I swear to God, I say with my face, this is rhyming on my case. I did my cross and said my grace. Ben, you know you got good taste. I motivate and win the race. Stacking up this pape every day, slave owner on his face. That's how I fade away into the light that I need. Too many nights I received them blessings inside. I decided to open my eyes. I ain't surprised yet. Still motivated and higher in the algebra, man. Another dimension I ran through. Hey, your girl wanna ran through me. Whoa, hold on, let me take that too deep.
That's fire. Was that off the dome?
Yeah, it was.
That's
Because I got
fire.
pulled over. And he gave me a ticket and he sped away right after.
Um
Right after I got pulled over for speeding, he sped away
he
and I'm
said
like, America.
he's gonna take 14 miles off. What do you mean by that? Like
To save me $200 because he was feeling like a nice guy.
so he reported your speed as being 14 miles less. Uh
Nope. I mean, yep. That
yeah.
was
And
all a joke. April Fools, mom.
but, but yeah, what and how fast were you because I had an issue with I used to love speeding.
I was
I
going like
got
86 on a
86.
55.
Yeah, I mean, 55 makes it a lot worse, but yeah. Yeah, I used to love just I don't know why, but I completely lost that. I got into some bad
Bro, I love
trouble.
being fast. I'm
Yeah.
adjusted to the fast lane. If I had a car that went 200, I wouldn't have stopped.
Yeah. I don't know about that. That sounds crazy, but there's it's becoming more of a thing. These chases, like the high speed chases, like it's
Yeah, because
becoming a
those things are
thing.
awesome.
Yeah, like
Motherfuckers play too much GTA.
I was talking to this guy, like actually from my community college, like one of my classes, and we're doing like some project, and so he's like a racer, like he really is out there and like for a long time has been doing this and like they'll be going crazy like 160 like on the freeway like racing, you know what I mean, like it's crazy like it's so crazy, and apparently they just been getting away because of like the laws where the police can't chase them or
Oh,
something
yeah, I
like
don't think you
that
can chase people through the state lines, one. In certain states, I think Atlanta, you can't chase people at all.
because it will cause more destruction, yeah. But yeah, that's a that would be cool, but also like yeah, so I wouldn't do it obviously, but like I can see why some guys have that as their fantasy to be in like a high speed chase.
I probably shouldn't be thinking about that. I had all
Yeah.
those dream nightmares when I was a kid about dying in a car crash.
Yeah, 'cause driving's scary too. That's where we lost touch
Yeah,
with that. Like
you
we
could
it's
ask my exes. I drive like a nut job.
yeah. Yeah, but like it's so accepted as a normal thing in our society, like getting into this rickety metal box and going like 80 miles an hour and like if you mess up it's like game over, you know what I mean? Like if you mess up just a little bit, it's game over. So it's like a fiery crash, like it's like
So I take the train
yeah, yeah,
and
the
the
train is
bus. I like the
safer.
bus.
Yeah. Well, the bus is just as bad and worse because they have less control over that vehicle. If
Nah,
you're
them
doing
bus
like a
drivers be
long
whipping.
distance bus.
Them Boston bus drivers be whipping it through them tight corners in traffic. Shout out the Boston bus
Yeah.
drivers.
Yeah, they're on some different shit. Yeah, they don't fuck
Our
around.
city was meant for horse carriages.
Yeah, that's what I
Motherfuckers
tell
whipping a
people.
32-foot bus.
Yeah, it's like these streets were designed for horse-drawn carriages and like they're not good for driving. They have to do something about that.
Yeah, bro, I'm Boston native, bro. I'm Native American too. So I can say this is my town.
Yeah, that's interesting. My last guest actually also opened up about his Native American heritage and how
Let's get it.
it had an influence on his life. So talk to me about that.
My father, he walked from Honduras to America. He tried 3 times. He said, I'm Mexican, yo. I'm Mexican. Let me in.
Hmm.
Motherfucker, you're not Mexican. You're going to jail. He tried 3 times. He finally got into Arizona. He married my mom. He got his citizenship. But yeah, he has Native American roots. I think they're Mayan type shit because he's
Wow.
from Honduras. So, that's pretty ancient right there. And I've only been out there once. I don't know fluent Spanish, but I'm learning slowly.
Nice.
And my last relationships with Dominican and Puerto Rican girls didn't work out, so I'm chilling with my girl from Zimbabwe now.
Nice. Zimbabwe is interesting. I've been there, believe it or not.
On fire. My girl's going in a couple of days.
Yeah, that's a beautiful part of the world. If you get the chance, there's nowhere I would recommend more to go than the south of Africa.
I love to make it out there, though. Shh.
Yeah. Like
See some animals,
yeah, it's like you can see like
some real life, some
yeah,
nature, and
yeah,
some
it's
peace.
yeah, the air it's
Where you
just
can eat with your family and tribe
yeah,
and not
it's
have to work
different.
9 to 5.
And the food is amazing. Like we don't really know about that food over here, but they eat so good. Like they'll eat different things like there's like this animal called a kudu, which is like kind of like a mix between a deer and a horse. Kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but the meat is so good and like all of the meat and the steak and like the cattle, like just everything over there is really good and they really know what they're doing with seasoning and stuff like that.
Make it out there soon.
Hell yeah.
Put a
I'll have to
mark on it.
go. I'll have to go too. We'll have to do like a trip.
Let's get it. We can come to Greece too.
Do a
Be my
podcast
uncle.
out there, yeah.
I'll go to
Imagine.
Egypt. I'm trying to see the pyramids.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I want to climb them. Apparently you can like
I'm trying to go to Gaza and whoop some butt.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't do that.
Man, they're trying to, you know what they're trying to do, bro? They're trying to enter like the original church in Palestine. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take over religiously. And that shit is dark.
What do
That's
you
why I
mean?
talk about the Bible. Like, it just makes sense. Like, think about it, the originality of religion and like Christianity and like life in all aspects came from that part of the world,
Yes.
which is now being like demolished for someone's propaganda, puppet string, mastery, mind shit. And it is like a very weird, eerie feeling. And it's like, that's why it is like, I love music and fashion in America. This is my home. But it's like, how distracted are we to the stuff that's going on?
Yeah.
How oblivious. I think not even distracted. I think we all know. We can all feel it.
So
That's
which
why we're desensitized to it.
so which side would you support, or are you saying that it's bigger than that? That it's not about one side or another?
It's not about one side. There's no two sides. It's like we're all from the same being of consciousness, sharing the same
Yes.
land, and they're killing each other for the land.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
think
it's obvious what they're
that's
doing is
tragic.
trying to raid the original church and area of Jerusalem's palaces and power and the original fire, holy fire. I feel like all that stuff is real, and I haven't educated myself fully,
Yeah, and
but just certain things in life have led me that religious type of thinking. Like,
I totally agree with you that it's just tragic, just purely tragic, like hearing about
it's fucked up,
the
man. It's
atrocities
hard.
and
It's been hard to post on Instagram my outfits and my food when it's like people getting blown to smithereens.
yeah. And another thing is like I agree with that I don't want to like put my weight behind one side in this because I think it's more complicated than that. And I notice a lot of people in my life I try to stay away from these kinds of people, but like in you have a girlfriend, you have their friends and all these other people you got to be like around sometimes where you can't really control it. And so a lot of these people though in colleges and stuff have been saying some really anti-Semitic stuff around me, and it's like, yo, like I just can't deal with anything when you're not talking about it in like a political way, when you're personally making some allegation against this group of people who I'm
Yeah, they
connected
make it about
to.
themselves.
Yeah,
They
it's
want a
like,
part of the attention.
yeah, and it's like I can't be around that energy. So like I was at a party um and I just had to leave because they started talking about this stuff, and it just personally offends me because I have family that was Jewish that was in that area that left, right on the border of Russia and Poland. So it's like deeply like part of my history, and like also I have a lot of friends who are Israeli. Like I was living with a bunch of Israelis in Peru for a long time, like in a community, So for me it's complicated, but also I love Muslim people and Palestinian people, and I love connecting with them and like understanding, just because I'm not like physically related to them in my bloodline, it doesn't mean I can't understand them on a real level and like talk with them. So and I just
Facts.
I hate the conflict and like how they make it a political thing and all this stuff. It stresses me out, but
Hate's a strong word, bro, and that's what they want from you to
yeah.
be stressed.
Yes,
And that's what the
exactly.
system wants from all of us.
Yes.
They want us to be stressed, a mess, pulling our hair out,
hmm
weak, hungry, tired. No,
We can't let
we
it
all got
get
to
to
stand up
us.
and hold our fire. The torch is what we desire.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need no choir. I'm a solo act and I'm on fire. Facts.
That's so fire. I love the rhymes. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And yeah, the thing with Ukraine too, it's like just like like I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna pick a side. I know that sounds like
God bless all of them, bro. It's the
yeah,
leaders that's
yeah,
fucking around. It's the people in power that's fucking around. The people with no power is trying to work and eat food with their family and make love. And these
100%.
motherfuckers is like, "Grah, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's not
Fuck your
about
guns.
it's like the people are you can never look at like a group of people and be like, "Oh, this whole country is like just awful people who deserve war." Like, it
Oh,
doesn't
bro,
work like that.
we're all children at the end of the day. That's how I look at
Yes.
it too.
Yes.
We're all children
hmm
of Earth, children of our parents. And that's the thing in American culture that does bug me growing up here is we were programmed by Disney and all this other bullshit, all these programs. My favorite was probably Cartoon Network because that shit was funny.
Yeah.
Regular show is gold. The regular show is the best show in the universe.
Yeah, I loved regular shows. Something about the art and also like the humor of it, where it's like understated humor and like
They didn't care.
yeah, I liked it a lot. It was really cool.
Where was I going with that? My fault. This banana bread is smacking me.
I
I
remember
put
I
800
used to make
milligrams into one loaf.
how many milligrams?
800.
800 into one loaf.
Yup.
Um, That's fire. And have you gotten good with like the dosing of it so it's like you're pretty
Not
consistent?
not fully accurate. That's what I'm
Okay.
still working on before I go public with my business. But
Yeah.
that's why I started with family and friends testing it.
Nice.
Like the other day, my girl greened out because I gave her like
Oh
a
my
half a
God.
piece,
Do you have
and
any
she only needed a quarter.
have has that just been that one time or did you have any other
Just
times
once.
you gave a friend
No, I'm a
something?
very no. Usually my friends are pretty experienced and will eat a whole dose and will be fine and really enjoy it, feel relaxed and the piece I put into it. But it was my fault. My girl's a lightweight.
Yeah, and the I remember you were a big into hash and it's never been popular in America. Um
Yeah, man, I touch everything. Hash, like resin, batter, wax, shot. I don't do dabs like I used to. And like I said, I've been trying to quit smoking less.
nice. I think that's
So I've
really
been,
healthy.
yeah, bro. Smoking ain't no good. You're only supposed to be breathing in oxygen.
You're right about that. And with the hash, I always liked it a lot. I don't know
But if you is
why.
gonna smoke a bong. Don't smoke no grabber. Don't smoke no fronto. That shit will end your life fast. To smoke a bong.
Yes, I got
Earth,
off
water,
grabba.
air, fire.
I totally got off grabba. But when I was in New York, like grabba is just part of
Grabber's the
everything.
wave over there.
Yeah, yeah. If you,
Best be wrong grabber. They gonna clown you.
yeah, no,
No grabber,
literally.
pussy.
No, but it was grabba is so addicting. Like it's so good.
Yeah, it is because it gives you
Yeah,
a head high
yeah. It's like
before you even get high. I remember
yeah.
my first time I smoked grabber in 10th grade. I was like, whoa, I need to sit down.
I
That shit had me.
remember like I was working at studios and like I really a lot of the time I just had to like do shit for different rappers and stuff and like especially when I was interning at this studio in Brooklyn and so I would have to go and get like a specific kind of grabba that they need and like they're like so particular about it and like yeah it's and
I want the dark ones, the papa. I want the papas.
yeah the spicy grabba and like usually like these bodegas would just be bagging their own grappa. Like it was never like a brand of grappa, but they
New
have
York's
some
delis
brands.
are ghetto.
What?
New York's delis are ghetto.
Yeah, like
Beautiful cats though.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, those little bodegas, they would be just in the back like they get like a house grappa and then they just like bag it into little bags and sell it for like a couple bucks. Um
You could buy. Let's see. You could buy what? Kratom, shroom bars,
oh yeah.
bacon, egg, and
Okay, well
cheese,
that
an
was
eighth,
it's changed.
cigarettes,
So
10
like
vapes.
So like a couple of years back, right? Especially when I was living in New York, though it was way different. So that they had illegal dispensaries everywhere, like
Mm-hmm.
selling mushrooms, selling everything, and they wouldn't card you. They would sell to you. They would sell to me. I was 19. Um, but they did crack down on that like in the last couple of years. So there's like they closed like over 10,000 of those places. So it's like a lot more strict now. Um,
Nah, they still get away with it.
yeah, I'm sure they still get away with it. There was this one like marketplace that I
It's
used to
American.
go to where it was like different vendors selling mushrooms, weed in this building, like so low key out of like no one would notice, but it was like in the center of everything, Midtown. And you would go and there's no carding, they don't ID no you know what I mean? They'd have like a security guard at the door, but it
All
was
New Yorkers know. All you have
yeah.
to do to get weed is wash yourself.
Say it again?
Wink. All they have to do to get weed is wash themselves.
Why?
It's just a hidden tactic to where all the plugs hang out in the city nowadays.
Oh, watch.
Because
Okay,
you
yeah.
can, ready, I'm telling you, you go to Wash Park, bro, you can buy anything from anyone. And the cops will walk by and buy it too. But tell me why a couple of summers ago, I was with my friends, Summer, one of their friends, and then a friend who passed away, Cole, rest in peace, his soul. Um, we was all together, and they had some drinks, some drinking, some salsas, some beers, some shit hidden in the little brown bags. Tell me why motherfuckers selling shroom bars next to me, which
Yeah.
obviously I'm full supporting. I love shroom bars. I make them myself,
No, that's what it's like. Yeah, it's like they'll
and
set up on
they
Wall
don't go to
Street
them.
sometimes, like a shrooms
Yup,
cart or a shrooms table.
yup. They have a place, a van in New York called the Script House,
What's
and just
that?
be walking around Manhattan. We're driving around Manhattan. But tell me why the police stop at us. They say, "Oh, these plugs, They chilling. Oh, these guys drinking in the park. Let's go find them and get our quotas. But that's like a weird thing. That's why I call it anarchy in America, because like we do have these rules and laws,
Yeah, like the quotas.
but we are waking up and realizing like, yo, we don't care. We gotta feed ourselves out here. Full time hustle pays the rent, but we still need money for food.
100%. Yeah, and it's about like getting rid of the mental blocks where we're like we can't let like other people's rules apply to us. Like about what's possible to achieve and stuff. Like just kind of seeing it, more open. But I think you're doing a really good job with all of this stuff, and I love talking to you and like hearing your ideas and philosophy on all this stuff, culture and everything.
It looks, bro, we're gonna come together,
Before
all of us, man.
100%. Before we wrap up, are there any final points or topics you want to touch on?
There's a lot, bro. I mean, I feel like we went over a lot of things I wanted to go over, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Of course.
I do want to remind people to love themselves and follow their visions and goals, and like insecurity isn't really existing in the long run because none of this really exists on another plane, and our physical reality is almost an illusion. So it is like a game. At the end of the day, play the game. Don't hate the game. Don't hate the players, because then both of them just will hate you back. Love both. That's what I gotta leave with.
I think that's really
Love it all, man.
powerful. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I look forward to staying in touch and seeing where life takes you with all this stuff you've got going on. But been a great episode, and I'm gonna stop the recording in three, two, one,
Yeah.
go.